Hey there, everyone. I hope you're still with me. The four beautiful ladies that were with me, I hope you're still here. I'm sorry about that. I really thought that putting it in low power mode might give me the juice I needed for 10 or 15 minutes, but it was not to be. So, I'm just gonna start again. I just wanna say welcome to our Wednesday unpacking of the theme for the week. Real quickly, I just wanted to invite the new members to go into the units. You'll find either on your top border of your page or the left-hand border, and you can see all of the topics and insights that we've covered up until now. And what I love about that is it allows you to go in and actually gravitate toward what it is that's calling to you at that given time. So if what we're talking about this week is not, in perfect time for you, then hi, Angelique. What a beautiful name. I love that name. So I just wanted to put that out there because I really want the group to be very useful to everybody and just really to offer a lot of resources for everyone. So how funny is this, right? So I just tried to do this video in my office like I usually do. Got the low battery sign. It was clear I needed to start again. And isn't this just perfect for our theme for the week, which is that all in perfect time. And that life will interrupt and it will redirect us. And so what's really cool about this is that I have absolutely no doubt that I am meant to be doing this video right here in my bedroom, starting right now. That's called faith in life, right? And so I wanted to just share one more thing before we dive into the unpacking, and that is that, so I thought, here's another thing, right? Thought I was going to be sharing this really amazing offering with you this week, was very excited about it, and then it became clear that I needed to wait another week. Won't bore you with the details, but it has been a beautiful gift because it's sort of refocused my energy. It's actually helped me to tap into even more goodness in that offering. And I'm big, big, big into laying very solid foundations. That's kind of part of my design. And so it's going to be amazing. And I can't wait to share it next week. So back to what we're doing now, today, Wednesday unpacking. So we will dive into our theme for the week, the post itself, and hopefully I can shed even some more light, well, on my own perspective, but with the hopes of helping you to tap into more of your own perspective as well. So all in perfect time. So life intervenes in our plans in small ways, like when we encounter unexpected traffic, or we accidentally turn one way when we meant to turn the other way, and then in seemingly more significant ways, or actually very significant ways, like when we have this virus that is seeming to shut the whole world down or put a damper on everybody's plans in a lot of ways. And it's interesting because I don't usually touch on sort of like the big topics of the day in this group because that's kind of not really the focus of the group, but this is kind of the elephant in the room, right? This has really stepped in and sort of interrupted our plans in a lot of ways. What events like this of any magnitude, so when I said like the accidentally turning left and we turn right, we think that, oh, that's my error, that's something I did, that's something, we're always being divinely guided. And when we have little unexpected things like that come up, we can kind of just smile within ourselves and say, cool. I guess I was supposed to be delayed by just a couple of minutes by taking that wrong turn so that things could play out in an even better way for me and for all. So what events like this of any magnitude signify is that divine intervention has come into play for the good of all. And just to expound upon that, we're not operating in a vacuum. Yes, we have our individual journey, but literally everything in our life is intertwined with everything in everybody else's life. That might seem really big to to contemplate. But that's how important you are. That's the message. You are that important, and your experience is that important, and we need you for this reason. And I wanted to share, there's a really cool movie that maybe you guys have seen before. It's called Sliding Doors, and it has Gwyneth Paltrow, and it's about how they do two storylines. It begins with her being in like a subway station where something interrupts her while she's entering the subway station, and it makes her delay for just a few seconds. And then they go forward with both storylines, the one where she wasn't delayed and the one where she was delayed, and how it just impacted the unfolding of her entire life and the people around her. So that would be an interesting one to check out if you haven't before. It's kind of an older movie, I think from the 1990s. And then even experiencing the grief of loss holds the seeds of goodness within it. I felt compelled to mention that because when I bring up something like this virus, I do not want to be overlooking the pain that it's causing in so many different respects, not the least of which is the pain of being ill, the pain of losing loved ones. So I wanted to acknowledge that and say that the goodness, we are often meant to experience pain on our way to the goodness for a number of different reasons. And it brings up this idea of pain as contrasted with the idea of suffering. So pain is a part of life, and there will be many things that come up in our lives that will cause us pain, and we feel it in our heart, we feel it in our bodies. It's a very real thing, and it's meant to be felt. The problem is when we resist the pain. And this is it's an area that I feel like I've experienced a lot in my life, because some sort of pain or interrupting experience comes in, and I have felt terrified that it was going to keep me from, living my life the way that I want to. And so the resistance, the fear, the struggle, that's the part that we would do well to release from. And so when we surrender to these truths, we can move forward in faith, give up the fight, the lamenting, and the frustration, and allow healing to take place. I realize this is easier said than done, and as humans, this is part of our journey, is to learn this particular lesson, that it is the resistance and the struggle and the working against what's happening that causes the problem and actually makes the pain much more intense. Similarly, when it comes to timing and the experience of our plans having been interrupted, hi Lainey, we can know beyond doubt in these instances that there is something even better waiting to come to fruition once the stage has been properly set. And this part we can have a little more fun with, really, because we can know, a lot of times when it's maybe less devastating, and it's just a matter of something being delayed, that we can know that, wow, something cool is on the other end of this. I'm in the midst of being divinely guided. And so I love that. And so why is this message relevant here to our Overcoming Overgiving group? It's relevant because our inclination to give too much, to overgive, to overdo, is one manifestation of our desire to control our environment. Hi, Connie. Does this resonate with you? Can you imagine some way in which the desire to keep giving and giving and giving is our trying to control an outcome? I'm curious about that. And so any guidance we can receive that helps us to surrender to our faith in the divine unfolding of life, or shortened version, hey there, our faith in life, right? And I, you can see in my cross, I have faith in God. Having faith in God is having faith in life. Okay, you can use your own phraseology. Yeah, and so, hi Jennifer. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you here. And so that's what I mean by faith in life. Faith in the divine unfolding of all of it, because there is nothing random happening here. And so if we can surrender to that, then our lives can just be so much more easeful. And that is what I wish for you. It's also what I wish for myself. And so then I went on and it just asked you all whether you could remember a time in your life when an interruption of your plans resulted in an outcome that was far greater than you had originally anticipated. And I would imagine most of us have had that kind of experience. And so that's really it for today. Do you have any questions, Connie or Jennifer, Lainey? I'm happy to answer them if you do. Otherwise, we can just sign off and look forward to seeing you again next week. So then I'll bring this up again that next week really will be different because I am going to be sharing with you an offering that I am so proud of, so excited about. How do you say no? Can you be a little bit more specific, Connie? How do you say no? So if someone's asking for help, well, what comes to me right off the bat is just being really authentic about what you need. So if somebody is asking you for something and your gut is saying no, yeah, especially to your kids. My son is 18 and he practically runs my life. My goodness, yeah, I can so relate with that. And I have a daughter and a son. They're in their mid-20s now. But my son in particular, I could be very preoccupied with. And so he practically runs my life. So if we could just sort of reframe this and imagine, ask yourself the question, would you like for him to feel self-sufficient in his life? And would saying no to him perhaps help in that, helping that to come to fruition? And then beyond that, in terms of the right in the moment, to just own the fact that you need to give to yourself first, whatever that means. So if you're saying, if the no is, I'm not feeling good about what you're asking, and so I need to sit with this for a while. Or, if he wants you to take him somewhere and you're not feeling it at the time, just own it. Own it and bring it back to you. What are you feeling? Because guess what? You can't really argue with that if you think about it, right? And I think that's the way we demonstrate to our kids that they need to honor themselves, right? Because it's all about the modeling, even more than the words. If he can, it's never too late to shift. When they're teenagers, they're really paying attention. And he'll end up having more respect for you, Connie, because all of a sudden it's like, mom's got a life of her own. Mom's got a backbone. And, this is good, right? And so there becomes respect. But just on that sort of micro level, yeah, I think, first of all, know that you don't have to answer him right away. Any question that he asks, you can always ask for time to consider it. And then, yeah, be very measured in your response. Know exactly what you're going to say and own your own feelings. He's moved out almost 2 weeks, and I'm paying everything and enabling him to be lazy. Well, you got to own that, right? In your just conversation with him. And again, it doesn't have to be an emotional thing. It can be, I've had a similar situation before where I've needed to say, it hits a soft spot for me to provide for you, and my concern is that I'm actually not helping you. So, well, whether he moves back is actually your decision too, right? I realize, oh my gosh, Connie, you and I could talk. I'll tell you, I'm not trying to make these things overly simplified, but I will tell you this. When I became more able to express my truth to my kids and to be able to explain the no from my perspective, everything got better. So I hope that that's helpful. You're awesome too. Hi, Heather. So, Heather, we're just about to sign off here unless anybody else has any other questions. And I will look forward to connecting with you all next week about my new offering. After that, the following week, we will pick back up with our format, which I absolutely love too. Thank you all so very much for giving me the honor of being with you here today, and I will check in with you I'll check in with you tomorrow morning with the capstone post, and then I'll check with you next week.